At some point in human history, and no one knows exactly when, people felt love, grief, and rage with the same intensity you feel them today. But the words didn't exist yet. Not "I love you," not "what you did was wrong," not "please don't go." The emotions were fully formed. The language was not. We don't know how long this lasted. Thousands of years, maybe tens of thousands. Long enough that countless people were born, loved, suffered, and died, carrying things inside them that had no sound, no shape, no way out. So what did they do with all of it? And what happened to us when words finally arrived, and then became worthless? Here is what researchers actually know. Complex structured language, the kind that carries meaning like "I was wrong," or "I need you," or "stay with me," is believed to have emerged sometime in the distant past. But the emotional hardware that generates those feelings is far, far older. The capacity for love, shame, moral outrage, the specific ache of missing someone. Neuroscientists believe these systems existed long before humans had any way to express them in words. Before language, early humans communicated the way our closest primate relatives still do. Calls that signal danger, gestures that mean follow or stop or look there, facial expressions carrying fear, aggression, submission. Functional, precise enough to survive, but completely unable to say what was happening on the inside. And here is what that means. For an unknown stretch of human history, people felt everything and could express almost none of it. That is not a footnote. That is the central condition of early human existence. And it left marks on us that we are still carrying today. Deep in our evolutionary past, before language became cheap and endless, humans may have had extremely limited opportunities to speak.
Some anthropologists now believe that in small hunter-gatherer tribes, speaking was treated as a sacred and limited resource. Words had real weight because they were rare. Imagine waking up in a tribe of 30 people. You can only speak once today. You have to choose very carefully. Will you warn someone about danger? Will you express love? Will you share a dream from last night? Or will you stay silent because your one sentence isn't important enough? This wasn't just a rule, it was a survival mechanism. You wake up, the sun is rising, everyone is quiet. You spend the morning hunting and gathering in almost complete silence. 1. A man who cannot say "I love you." He is standing at the edge of the camp. She is across the fire. He has felt this thing, this specific consuming pull toward one person, for 2 full seasons now. Every morning it is the first thing that moves through him. He watches her. She knows he watches her. There is an entire conversation happening between them that neither of them can speak aloud. He does not have the sounds, not arranged in that way, with that weight. The closest he can get is proximity. He sits near her. He brings her food after a hunt. He places himself between her and anything that feels like danger. She understands. Of course she understands. But neither of them will ever say it, because the sentence does not exist yet. An entire love story lived in gesture, in closeness, in the careful, silent choreography of 2 people orbiting each other without a single word to name what is happening between them. 2. A young man who cannot say this is wrong. The strongest man in the tribe has taken the kill. It was not his. 3 others made that hunt, tracked the animal for hours, pushed their bodies to the limit to bring it back. Everyone saw what happened. The young man feels something rise in him that has no outlet. In a world with language, he would stand up, name the injustice, rally the others with words, force a reckoning. He has none of that. He makes a sound, sharp, directed, unmistakably accusatory. The leader holds his gaze. The moment stretches, and then collapses. Because without language, moral outrage has nowhere to go. It cannot build, it cannot persuade. It dissolves into the air like heat. The young man sits back down. He learns something that will live in his body for the rest of his life. Having something true to say, and no way to say it, is its own kind of violence. 3. A father who cannot say goodbye. He is dying.
Everyone in the tribe can see it. His daughter sits beside him, young, trying to hold her face still. He wants to give her something, not food, not tools, something to carry. He wants to say, "You were the point of everything." He wants to say, "I will be in the way you make decisions, in the way you love people, in every choice you make that is kind."
He wants to say, "Do not be afraid of what comes after me." He has no words for any of it. He puts his hand on her face. He holds it there. He looks at her until he cannot anymore. She will live another 40 years carrying something she was never given. Not grief, exactly. Something older than grief. The weight of love that was felt completely and spoken never. Here is what most people miss. The absence of language did not make early humans less. In many ways, it made them more. When you cannot say what you mean, you develop an almost inhuman sensitivity to everything else. Researchers studying nonverbal communication have documented this repeatedly. People with limited language access become extraordinary readers of microexpressions, body tension, the quality of someone's silence. Early humans could read a person's emotional state the way we read text, instantly, involuntarily, with a precision that modern humans have largely lost. They were also forced into a radical presence we have no modern equivalent for. When you cannot process experience through words, cannot narrate it to yourself, cannot explain it away, you are left with only what is actually happening. You feel the real thing, not your story about the real thing. Psychologists now believe that much of what we call anxiety is essentially linguistic. It lives in the narrative we construct around events, not in the events themselves. Early humans, without that narrative capacity, may have experienced more fear in moments of real danger, but almost certainly less dread the rest of the time. They could not ruminate. They had nothing to ruminate with. When language finally arrived, it was, without question, the most transformative development in human history. Suddenly, the woman across the fire could hear 3 words that made everything real. Suddenly, the young man could stand up, name what happened, and make others believe him. Suddenly, the dying father could leave something behind, word for word, that his daughter could carry for the rest of her life. Language did not just improve communication, it completed the human experience. But then words multiplied. Then they cheapened. Then they became so abundant, so automatic, so constant, that we stopped feeling their weight entirely. Today, the average person speaks thousands of words every single day. We text thousands more. We fill every silence, every commute, every meal, every moment alone, with words, noise, content, reaction. And somewhere in that flood, the sensitivity got lost. The presence got lost. The understanding that a single sentence, the right sentence, said at the right moment to the right person, can be the most powerful thing a human being is capable of. There is a father somewhere in your ancestry who put his hand on someone's face because it was the only thing he had. There is a woman who loved someone for years through proximity and silence because the sentence didn't exist yet. There is a person who felt something completely true and died without ever being able to say it. They built language for us, slowly across thousands of years, until someone finally had the sounds for "I love you," and "I was wrong," and "Please don't go," and "I'm sorry," and "You were everything." You have all of it, so use it. Not tomorrow, today. Say the thing you have been carrying to the person who needs to hear it, because somewhere in your past, someone would have given everything just to have the words you are not using. Leave one sentence in the comments, the one that actually matters. If this landed, hit like. Subscribe. Every week we go somewhere most channels won't. See you in the next one.